promising, but fortunately, there's several layers of activation that have to happen here, and I'm very glad we don't have to do the long route like we did this morning, early this morning. I'll call that last night because for me it was, but when we had to move our cloud self energy up and over and down. We don't have to do a lot of that for the first two parts because what the beloveds are going to do is actually, and it's not just the Mashayahana beloveds and those guys. At this point, we're going to have the Ayaru are actually going to be transmitting down through the communication and frequency lines that we have, with the others that are online in the stack of beloveds, right? And what we're going to do, there's 1, 2, 3. 3B, 4, and 5 parts. But they're not too bad. They could be a lot worse if we had to do the manual stuff where we have to go ourselves and open things and activate things on parts 1 and 2. But fortunately, I'm just going to give you a run through on this so you know what we're going to do. And I had no idea how they were going to move this or what it was going to look like. But the first part we're going to do it's called the Cosmosa activation. That's where we activate the coding and the Aya field, but also the flows. I still have to look at my thing. The Ayaye, Eternal Living Dream Stream. All right, that's when we activate that from the cosmos level, which is that first level, the next level up from where we were when we did our cosmic matrix level in the first activation. Now, if there's anybody here that didn't do that first activation, that's all right. You can back run it. You'll still get the activation here because there's enough people in the shield in the group that have done that. And if you want to participate, you're welcome to. And you can just pick it up from the DVD and back run it to get those extra frequencies turned on that we did this morning if you weren't here, because there's a couple people that weren't here. So now again, anybody that doesn't want to participate, you don't have to. You can sit and listen. You can choose to. If you choose to participate and then tomorrow you decide you didn't want to, you just say I rescind any activations I had. I'm not interested. So it's not an obligation or anything like that. It's not somebody zapping you with something that's you can't unzap yourself with. It's that kind of thing. It's all cooperation, and it's all your free will is totally and completely respected. So that needs to be acknowledged and known. And all right, what they want to do is the way they're going to do these is great. They're actually going to put the code up on the screen, and that beams through the other screens as well. And they said first that they're gonna beam in on this one. They're gonna beam in a pillar of gold and silver Waiea field frequency, and then they're gonna transmit the Cosmosa Ayea stream right through that. It's gonna come out horizontally, and just kind of like come out through the 3 points. All right, so one will angle that way, one will angle this way, one will angle that way. Let's see. Let me see what they're on. I have to read my little scribbles because when they give it to me really fast, I write really fast like hieroglyphics. Okay, and they said once they do that, they'll let us know when they have the transmission running. Then they're just asking us to hold our hands up just about shoulder level, and that and that actually means that you want to receive the transmission. And the frequencies that are moving through the room will actually first come into contact with your palms. Your palms will actually draw them in, to you. They said it'll flow to your palms, and then let's see, split something in a little chamber horizontally. I'm reading my thing. Split up. Okay. Okay, so once your palms draw it in, then you keep them there for a minute, but the beam that's coming out horizontally, and they're going to be really wide beams where it will cover the territory coming from each of them, because they'll come out and then they'll make a cone as they come out. So there's nobody that will be not in the range where they can pick it up. Once you pick it up, then it will actually. I had put that diagram up that shows the chambers. You have that front-back chamber, and then and that's horizontal, right? Then you have the one running side to side, and they're really big, wide chambers of energy, right? And then you have your big, wide vertical chamber. This one is going to, actually, once it touches your palms, it's going to run right through from front to back. So that's actually from the future, because this is the future chamber, right? Your future is out here where you project it out. It's going to come in from the future and run right through you, through and back to the past, all the way through the layers of your spirit body, back to your what would be your Christ star self, or not Christ star self. What do they call it? It's the bud self at the center. When you go back through the edons, then you go back through the adons and the inner ones, and then you go back to the core. So literally open that whole chamber with the frequencies. And then they said when that happens, let me see. I'm doing this for you me as much as you, right? So I can read my writing. Bend broad chamber down. Oh, and when they'll give a okay like now, then you can just take your hands from here and just put them just kind of like down, like in this, kind of like this. You don't have to stretch them out or anything. You just like put them down like that, and that will actually bend the rod chambers, the ones that run side to side, down with them for a minute, and the frequency coming from the front to back one will actually expand through the rod, and your arms will stay down, but the rod chamber will pop back up. So you'll have the full horizontal. That'll be a 4-point activation at that point. And when that happens, there'll be a little pop sensation here, and it will a little ball of the, what do they call it? The Aya sphere. It's an Aya flame sphere. Will activate in the Azure area, and it'll kind of stick out about this far. So you can try to sense it. If you don't sense it, it's okay. This is what will happen if you agree that you want the activation. Okay, then let's see, and then it'll feel a little bit of like a pop when that starts, just a little like a kind of feeling. And let's see. Okay, now I'm going to sit back down to read this. Let's see. Okay, we get that far. All right, that sphere, that flame sphere of Aya frequency or Aya field consciousness energy, that's the beginning of of activating your Aya orb, the big orb that eventually grows really, really big. So that's the first part of that. Now the second part, once we get that far, you can just rest your hands on your laps. And the second part is we'll put up the Cosmea code, and change the codes, and then they're going to do an activation again through that. They're going to bring frequency, and then the Ayaye stream in through that. What they're going to do with that one is they're going to make the 3-point beams come in, but they're going to actually angle them to the back of the wall and hit them off the back of the wall, and they'll come up, one will come up and one will go down. One will go actually down into earth core, into the reservoir, and angle back up, and the other will come down, kind of like go up in the air and then down through the ceiling and split into like little rays that come down to anybody who accepted the first part of the activation. As long as you don't say, stop, I don't want it anymore, right? You can always do that at any point, and then it's done, and if you say, get whatever you did on me, off me, they will do that, no problem, right? But it will come in from both top and bottom, and it will activate the vertical chambers. All right, so there'll be some coming in from the top and then some coming up through your feet from the bottom of the frequencies. And this will carry the level of the coding from the Cosmea level, which is the final level. That Cosmea is the one that sits in the God Source consciousness field. So that gives us the other 2 layers of activations where the purple rain effect that we had before, we'll actually be getting purpley silver, like violet silver, rain effect coming from the future to the past and running both ways across the rod and up and down through this. So we'll have rain coming up and rain coming down, and it will be it's going to be like the purple rain effect field. That's the color it will be. And that will give us the 2 levels of activations. Let's see. Oh, and once we have, they call this what do they call it? Not a 6-point. Oh, they call this a 6-direction activation. And this is why one of the things with the Beloved's teachings that's always been kind of neat, you have a lot of other belief systems out there in the New Age movement that are using the 4 directions. 1, 2, 3, 4. No future past. No connection back through the spirit body to the core that you came out of through the domains. And this is why we always say the 6 directions as opposed to the 4 directions, because you have the chambers, the horizontal ones, you have east and west, and you have north and south, but you also have future and past. And that creates the whole circulation of energy. So this is a 6-direction activation in that regard. Okay, now once they'll give a call like when there's going to be a little bit of a pop, and the sphere of Aya frequency that was built, Aya field energy that was building here, will pop out and expand, and it will become your Aya orb body, and it will be about 12 feet in diameter, and it will stay there. Once it's there, it will stay permanent unless you choose to undo the activation, which you can do at any time. You can just say, look, I don't want to. I decided I'm going to go, like, I'd rather be a Catholic, or I'd rather be an atheist or whatever, and they will respect that. It is your free will choice, and they will simply withdraw anything that they gave because they would not want to offend, and so they won't cross boundaries like that. But you will at that point have the 12-foot sphere around you. And again, because you each have your own special encryption, you're not going to be bumping into each other and squashing each other's spheres into funny shapes because you're sitting so close. You'll actually just run right through each other as if the other wasn't there next to you, because you have your own specific, very unique encryption, irradiation encryption of energy. So you have almost like it's that lone key harmonic, they call it, where you have you have your own harmonic, and it's like your own space in the cosmos, that any other things can run through you, but nothing can touch that space or put its codes in that space. So sitting next to each other like you are, it's not going to change the fact that you can still have your 12-foot diameter bubbles around you. All right. Now, once we get that's the easy part. All right. Which is, it's basically they're doing most of the work, and we're just like, okay, I'll be there. Yeah, and through this, we don't have to do any like breathe, hold, or any of that, right? That we just breathe normal, right? Just breathe. We will do the real quick, activate or amplify your Christ star real quick, with a couple of breaths just to amplify the field. Now, here's where it gets a little interesting, where we do have to pay a little bit of attention and breathe and do things. And this is really the hardest part of anything. It's not really hard, but as far as like what we have to, what our participation needs to be, is called awakening your Aya. That's your Avatar Eternal. All right, that is that body that is like your idea of a perfected you. Now, you don't have to design it right now. The way they're doing this, that there will be an image that everyone will use to just set that energy signature. You can add your details to it as you go. When you decide to, when you start really building the feel of it there, then you can start deciding, if you'd like it to have this quality or that quality. But it's important to keep it true to your Vibhati cell, which means your gene code now. That it, like if you're white and you want to be black, or if you're black and you want to be Hispanic, save that for later. But right now, yeah, right. If you're a girl and you want to be a boy, save that for later. If you're a girl or boy and had a sex change, use what you have now, okay? Whatever your signature is now. Biologically, it's important to bring the biology that you have, into this activation. So it's you and not just like some thought form of you that you have of yourself. So it is you. But you can also, as you go along, right now you're just going to see it as a perfected energy field with just hominid shape, like a light being. But eventually, as you learn to play with it more, we will learn to play with our what do we call them again? IA selves, and do more things with them, like project with them and move them around and do all sorts of things. But for now, we're going to create them and bring that level of source consciousness right into ourselves. And so you don't have to worry about deciding on, you can change your eye color, little things, little tweaks. You can change your hair color, but keep your basic nationality, gene code, height, that kind of thing. Like weight, you can play with that because you could play with that here, right? You can make yourself fatter, you can make yourself skinnier. So you can, do that. But we don't have to worry about, I'm going to go sit for 20 minutes and figure out what I want my avatar self to look like. You don't have to do that yet. But you can play with it as you go along, like after the workshop's over and stuff. Think about it. And those thoughts will actually go into that body and start to form it, and will take on more characteristics. And sometimes for the people who have done Slider 7 that are playing with mirrors, you may start having some interesting effects where you start to see it with you, looking out with you, and it's you. It's a level of your own consciousness that is in closer at one with Source. So in a way, you could say that it's a future you, the you you're choosing to become. And and you kind of make a commitment to yourself that, yes, I want to be that. But you can design what that is. It's not imposing it on you. Just whatever your most perfect version of you, as you decide what that will be, is what that image will hold. All right, so we will, to do this, to awaken our IA body. And we already have our IA orb around us, right? So the next thing is we're going to be, we're going to have to focus our energy at the Azare, and then we're going to inhale the 6 directional inhale. So when we start these breathings, we're using the 6 directions. So we'll inhale through the 6 points of the chambers, right? And then we're going to exhale and pop what they're calling the Aya flame sphere that's at the Azare that started to form when we did the orb, but there's a small sphere still in there, and we're going to pop it where it turns into a sphere that's pretty big. It's probably maybe basketball size, and hangs there, and it has like a flame field in it. And let's see. Okay, then the next one. Okay, and so the inhale, 6 point, and then exhale, and it pops that part. Then we're going to go to let's see, move our attention down a bit, and they're saying this is interesting. They're calling this spot. This is a new spot. We have lots of spots that we've learned about over the years in the anatomy, as far as raw flames and carinatus seals and all those things. But this one they're calling the Ayaru seed, and it is actually the core of the silver seed. Now we've been working with activating the silver seed progressively. That has to do with the frequencies that are coming in from Aurora Earth and from the Aurora Continuum and that space. Well, imagine that has a little core inside of it that can open and awaken, and this is what we will be awakening with this part. So to do this seed isn't in the Azare like most things are. This part, this core, to bring it awake, at some point I'm sure in other techniques later in other workshops, they'll probably have us do things like merging them, the different flame areas and stuff. But for now, this one is wherever your navel is and wherever you can sense the base of your breastbone, try to imagine a spot halfway between there. And it will be right about in that area, and it's very deep in the center, in your central vertical current, and it actually just hangs there in suspension. It's like a little tiny speck. And it holds the potentials of the full core silver seed awakening, and it will open the Aya field right into your biology. So we'll be inhaling into that spot, and let's see, and then exhaling, and it will again make a flame sphere that will extend from the bottom of the breastbone to the top of the navel. And then inhale. The next one will be from our pineal. So we'll do the six direction inhale into the pineal, and then exhale, and it will pop and this one will come about almost like a little, looks like a space hat, a space bubble, right around your head, where it'll actually be around your head. And that's kind of interesting. When they give me these things, I have to run a little bit of it, even though it's not time for me to activate yet, just by them giving me the steps where I can see them, because I need to be able to see them for some reason for the wave to run. And it starts in me. And when they did this part with me, it was pretty cool, because I realized, wow, that state that we're always like reaching for, that's somewhere else, that, you just feel a bit better. I could feel a bit of it open up around me, and it was like, oh, I like this space out. This is great, right? Because there's just this calm, this stillness that feels like that Aya field. And I imagine, progressively as we work more with these field of consciousness, not frequencies, we will experience that more and more. And it's nice because it's like, wow, that part of your awareness is right there with you. So it's not just your little awareness that kind of goes, what am I doing here? This was a lousy day, and that kind of stuff. That you can kind of go, all right, wait a minute. Yeah, let's get that off me. And just expand yourself into that space, and it's right there with you. All right. So then we'll do that part, and we'll have our little bubble there, or the pineal one expands to become the I'm just calling it a space hat. For easy, because when I'm working with these, they're giving me more visuals, sometimes more words to come on. The easiest words I can use to get across what we're doing is the best. So if I have to keep looking over here to go, what is it? Yeah, what am I yaying here? That kind of thing. Sometimes dream stream works good unless you're just trying to tone it. If you're trying to tone it, then you need to use the syllables. But if I'm just describing to you, what it is, it's not going to matter, because you know what it is, and I'm just saying to you, the dream stream or whatever. So anyway, the space bubble will pop after you do the pineal level activation of the Aya flame sphere. Then, let's see, this is where it gets interesting. This is where you get to begin to actually meet your IA self, the one that has the body. So you have your IA aura, but also have your IA self. You're going to imagine a small silver self, a perfect you, just silver twinkly energy, right? And you're going to imagine it at the pineal, and it's like a little you in the pineal. And then, let's see, you have to breathe here. Like, I mean, you always have to breathe, but I don't know if you have to breathe consciously or just normally. Yeah, okay, I think we have to push it out gently from the pineal through the third eye until it's about right here. And then watch it get about, what, 3 inches tall. And imagine it's right here like you are, but just a tiny version. And it goes out where it's still looking forward. And then when it gets out to where you can sense that your space bubble hat is, it turns around and looks at you, right? So you're facing each other. Third line, stand in front of you. Yep, okay. Wait, okay. I just have to read my scribble here. This is why I wanted to go through this before. I didn't want to get us in the middle of this and go, wait a minute, what's that word? Right? All right, this little version of you that you're seeing, they're referring to as your IA seed self. So that's the seed self. That's not it yet. That's not your whole IA self yet. Okay. What they're saying is when you have it in that space, imbue it with all of the feelings of joy and love and expansion and enlightenment that you can muster within yourself, as if all of the things that have troubled you, the tension, any pain, any frustration, any anger, any old victimization patterns where you felt hurt by this or harmed by that or somebody did something terrible to you. Imagine that you're just, it's all like a wind is blowing at you and just right through your cells and cleaning it off you for a moment, and then breathe that intention of joy and just cleanliness of all the negative, all the stuff that hurts. Breathe that in to the seed of your IA self, right? So we'll just do like a couple of regular breaths, but when you inhale, okay, they're saying when you inhale, actually imagine that you're squeezing all the negative stuff that you might see as dark energy and just squeezing it tight, and then when you exhale, you're projecting the light energy that's in you forward, and the other stuff goes back. The dark stuff goes back behind you as if it's in the past now, that it's moving away from you. It's going back to the past where it'll be transmuted through your spirit body. Right. So once you imbue it with a bit of the feelings, the joyful feelings of your new life, this is your new life, your new self. You're the creator here. You can create yourself any way you choose to. No matter what your life has done so far, or what's been, how you've run your life so far, you can make a clean start and begin to choose how you want it. Even if you don't know exactly how to do that, just say, yeah, I can. There's a lot of things I can let go, and know that just the intention of wanting to do that, you will get guidance from this level of your own self that will help you to see a bit more clearly, progressively, what might work better for you, and where you find more joy in your life. Now, let's see. It says, okay. All right. Once you're still looking at each other, where you're closing your eyes and you're seeing your seed self there, your seed IA self, IA self. And they're saying, then we're just going to put our palms up a bit again, like we did to receive the horizontal transmissions, and see in your mind's eye. And if you can't visualize yet, that's all right. Just intend that your little self in there, your seed self, also puts its palms up, and it transmits a ray of frequency to you, directly to your palms. And just breathe with that for a few moments. And then I think the beloveds will probably, it has to do with hitting a certain quantum of transmission on that, and the beloveds will probably give me a sign where I say, okay, that's good. And then once we get that okay, it's good enough frequency, then you imagine that your seed self and yourself put your palms together in front of the large azure flame that you have there now. All right, let's see. Okay, read the next part. All right, and now it's saying, if you'd like to, you can make a vow to yourself that you will let this future perfected you, the way you design it, to be your guide, to not give up on yourself no matter what, to not be too hard on yourself, to not, I should be better than this, I should be more perfect, you should get rid of the should-be's. You need to love yourself as you are, even with what you might consider imperfections, but make a vow to yourself that you're not going to give up on you, that you can become that more and more and embody that energy. And it may look different than you think. There may be a whole bunch of things that you're actually, oh, I know I need to fix this, and I know I need to fix that about me, or the other thing. There may be what really happens is you realize that you aren't the problem. It's you feeling you need to fix you that's been the problem. So some of the things you'll actually start feeling more motivated to do that are more positive for yourself, that would actually help to fix some things that might need fixing. But you would also start to feel yourself more and more at peace in your skin, where you realize you don't need that much fixing after all, that you'll get there, it's all right. And that creates a balance in the self where you learn to be instead of always trying to aim for something that isn't that isn't here yet, where you're living either in the past, ruminating about memories and woulda, coulda, shouldas, or you're trying to create something in the future and it's always out there in front of you. When we get too caught in that pattern, our nows go away, and like we're not even focused in the now. Our bodies are, but we're not. And now is where the point of power is, and always will be. It is our creation point. So progressively we will learn to bring that consciousness of the now and being at peace with the now. That means ourself in the now and what the now is doing in the external hologram and those kind of things. So we'll be working with that. But it's making a vow to yourself to not give up on yourself. And whatever that perfected level of yourself is, they might just decide you're perfectly perfect just the way you are. And you don't have to change a thing, I'm fine. Right? And that's okay if it goes there. But to make a vow to yourself that you will let that be your guide, that ideal for yourself, whatever it is, in your relationship with God's source consciousness field, whatever that idea of perfection is, that you will not give up. And you'll throw out all the old programs that tell you how you're not good enough, or you had Illuminati parents, so I know I can't ascend, or whatever. All that negativity, you don't need to have that with you anymore. So that little vow, you don't have to make a vow to yourself, but it's a good place and space to do it. It's a commitment to you. You're making a commitment to you. You're saying, I am worth it. And if people have told you you're not worth it for ages in your life, it might be hard to say, but actually look and say, you are a person, you have a vote. You are voting, I am worth it. And use that. That and my relationship with Source comes first. And if you really honor that vow with yourself, to you and to Source, and that doesn't mean to the beloveds in between either. I mean, they're wonderful. It's lovely to have great, brilliant friends that are ascended. But the big relationship is between you and that God Source consciousness field. And finally, thanks to the assistance that our very good teachers and guides have given, we can do that fully directly now. So it is a vow to yourself and to wanting to embrace whatever that amazing level of enlightenment and expansion is, that means where you and God's Source directly meet and become at one in consciousness. So after we get to that point where we are still with our hands together in front of the flame field here, and we make our little silent bow to ourselves. Let's see. No, let me see what I was doing here. In the first part, this is before they get into the covenant part, but this is the part where they're going to ask us to journey, and we're going to journey to Siesta Key Beach, because we've set up a very powerful, what's called Amareya Crystal Temple there, with the activations that we've been doing, and the people who've been at workshops have consciously participated in creating those energetic structures. So what you can, if people who haven't been there, if you want to do the journey with us, what you can do is just imagine, even if you've never seen Siesta Key Beach in Florida, that's okay. That's in Sarasota, Florida. Just imagine a beautiful white sand beach, and I mean white. It's crushed quartz crystal, so it's absolutely gorgeous, white sand. And just imagine aqua waters where the ocean is, and just imagine on that white sand and extending out into the aqua waters, there's this absolutely massive, like skyscraper size, Christ Star vehicle, and that's that like kind of diamond-y shaped big Merkaba vehicle, because there is one there that we have activated. So we're going to project into that, but we're going to do this in a very interesting way. We're going to do this journey. They're actually going to ask us to do this, and I know because this is actually part of a first part of a test of being able to, now that we are safe, relax a little bit and realize we are safe now. The activations, the MetNet stuff is stopped. Nobody can implant you with stuff at this point. those kind of things. So what they're going to ask us to do is we're going to get in touch with the orb level of ourselves, which is still, it will pulse too, by the way. Our shine will also pulse through our IA orb. And when we do the journey to start it, they're going to have us first do a few breaths to pulse and amplify our shine and our orb shine. And then they're going to ask us, and if you don't want to, you don't have to, but they're hoping that we can create kind of like a multi-layer human chain. We can sit down where we are, but whoever's next to you, and whoever they are, even if you don't like them, right? Let that be a first lesson in loving kindness and safety. Know you're safe, all right? Where you can just like touch fingertips or one finger. If you really don't want to, you don't have to, right? So it's you don't have to violate your personal body space or whatever. But the more of the linking we can do, the better. Now you have your own orb. Nobody's going to get in your orb, so you're perfectly safe. We've done other types of projections before with orbs and pillars and things. We always have our own, and that never goes away. We don't blend the fields into one large mass of energy where everybody takes on each other's coding and stuff. So you don't ever have to worry about that. They're going to ask us to just like touch fingers or hold hands if you feel more comfortable with hands. It makes a stronger link. And then we're going to breathe a bit, try to kind of breathe and sync a little bit together, and form a huge collective IA sphere around the entire collective. Now you all have your own still inside of it, right? And anybody that doesn't want to be a part of this, if you don't have yours activated because you don't want to be a part of it, it's fine. It'll just go right through you, won't touch you, as if you weren't there and it wasn't there to you, right? So this is for the people who want to participate in the journey. And they're going to then have us take our Ajay body, the body, the hominid shaped one that looks just like us, and actually raise it up and it'll take an image. We'll still have ours down here, and we'll have our shine, and so we'll still have our orb, but we'll take a replica of them and lift them up to the ceiling, and then we'll take our massive orb and we'll inhale once and then pop, and we'll actually pop right into the center. We won't have to like fly across the sky. We'll actually pop right into the center of the crystal temple that is over on Siesta Key Beach. And from there, it's a very simple journey. What we're doing with this journey is now that we're carrying what is it, Kamesa? Yeah, there's so many common words here. Cosmea code, right? That's the big one. We're carrying that in our field. So now we can give it as a gift. When we give it as a gift as a collective, it has a lot more oomph behind it as far as just, there's more of it, more layers of it, so it's stronger. This is we're going to go down from the temple and directly just down into Earth Core, into the orb reservoir that we've talked about before. And you can imagine just the reservoir of those little snow-like orbs all over the place, but they're prettier. They're actually like, translucent, and they sparkle kind of like these type of things, but in all sorts of pastel colors. We're going to go in there, and we're going to see a large blue, not quite aqua, but more electric blue color sphere of energy. And that is going to be that is representing, because actually the sphere of Amente is in a frequency that we actually couldn't actually see it, right? It's another one of those feel things, but this is a symbolic thing that will connect our energy to it. We're going to just bring our large orb down over the small blue sphere and just breathe for a moment there, and that will breathe the code in. So it will literally be seeding the structure into the planetary body that the Mashayas need to be able to come in and do a birth wave in here. And it will also be seeding it in there. So the sphere of Amente can now link that into the rest of the grids, even the Metatronic one. So even people that are going in fall path can pick up part of those frequencies, whatever their own templates and DNA could hold. So it is literally giving a huge gift to many people on the planet, and not just people, to animals and plants and those things, because anything with a Chris code can benefit from those frequencies coming through. It'll actually bring the Chris code up, help to amplify the Chris code. And then these won't take long. It takes longer to explain it really than it does to actually do it, but I wanted to make sure that I understood, and also that I wouldn't lose people with this, because there's a lot of steps to it. So once we do that, then we simply just inhale down there, and tend ourselves back here, and we kind of pop and go flying up through the temple over there and pop up in our seats over here. And then we go into the closing round. God. Sometimes there's a lot of steps to things. All right. So now that we've finished the coding of the Survivamente, the next place that we are going is to what they call the Ayaru Covenant, for those who are interested in the covenant. The covenant has to do with a couple of things. First of all, the only reason it's being spoken about is because they're offering us an invitation, because they're aware of the work we have been doing and doing with the beloveds. They have taken votes, actually. They actually do vote. This is how the speakers were appointed before we got our contracts when we came in. This is also how the speakers' apprentices were appointed, not by us. They were appointed up there, and we just get informed, right, who's elected, right? And then the person elected has a choice whether they're interested or not, to accept the commission. Well, we've the whole collective of the Aquafarian Shield, and this applies to people who aren't here too, right, that aren't at this workshop or even don't even know about this stuff consciously. But we have been invited to be what are called apprentices elect, which means we've been elected as apprentices, each one of us. We've been entrusted with that. Doesn't mean we have to accept it. Now, an apprentice is, I always think of Mickey Mouse and the Sorcerer's Apprentice. I don't know why. I don't know why. Probably because I've been apprentices before. I have. They're not like that at all. They're actually what their purpose is. Like I know with the when they appointed the apprentices with the speakers, the purpose was that they would assist us directly in running the frequencies, so we could amplify the abilities that we had as speakers on the planet. We'd also help each other with various things, like the people that have been working as apprentices with us because the beloveds appointed them. I didn't, and they have been doing all sorts of stuff, working with us, doing chart packs, doing all kinds of things, to assist, and we try to assist them as well. So with the apprenticeships, the invitation or the commission is the and this is coming not just from the Mashayahana councils, but literally from the Ayaru councils. They are asking us if we'd be interested in helping them, run frequency and hold the shield and hold these gates open for the 200 years, and if we would help make way for the Mashayahanas coming in, or the Mashayas coming in. And if we don't want to, we don't have to. They won't take it personally. It's like, okay, it might not be a good time. Like, let us know if you ever decide you want it, because you have the elect, which means you have been elected. So if you're not ready for it right now, that's okay. You just let them know, and they'll hold it, and you can ask them someday, even like 5 lifetimes from now. It's like, I remember I think I put one of those on hold. Could I activate it now, please? So whatever you want to do with that. But they're going to... they're going to tie this in with an official part that we've been asked to do in regard to the MCEO apprentices that were appointed as apprentices with us. They've gone through a period of what they call life tests, and there are some that come with apprenticeships. This doesn't mean that you're going to have a horrible life. It means you're going to have experiences that are made to help you grow a bit and look past some of the old ways you might have interpreted things. And honestly, we go through that all the time anyway. But the apprentices that were appointed with MCEO they were elected in 2006, and they finally, the beloveds feel that they have passed the life test sufficiently. It's really passing the life test is being able to handle with grace the life test that you have. It's not that somebody is giving you more tests. It's that they're observing how well you can stay balanced and okay with, yes, life is a learning experience, and I can take even the worst of it as a lesson. Every cloud has a silver lining. I can look at there's always a little bit of good or something you've learned out of an experience, no matter how bad it was. So it's not that they're inflicting tests on you. It's that life kind of does that. Karma does that. Being in a physical body down here does that. And the test is simply about how you handle yourself and your energy in relation to your life and your life circumstances. Because before the commissions of apprenticeships do involve, it's a collective. It's saying, okay, I'm willing to work in service to the collective, to the good for all life everywhere, and not to be a martyr to it, because I'm part of the good. I'm part of all life everywhere. So you have to be good to yourself too. It's not about being a martyr, but they will. Yeah, I know. They're saying, they're saying, come on. Okay. All right. Am I done with that part? Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so basically, if you do decide you want to accept the apprenticeships, the elect, you will simply be they will be observing to see how you just deal with life lessons, just the stuff that life throws at you. And the faster that you get it and you say, okay, now there's a reason why I should behave, and all right, I know I can look at that better. I know I cannot let that get me. I cannot, give myself the luxury of sinking into misery or grouchiness on that one, right? The more you make the more the Christwave choices, the faster that you will be actually brought to where you don't have, it doesn't have to take 4 years. There's not a number attached to how long it has to take before you will get that final, where it's called like a swearing in, where you've actually hit a certain level. Some people might get it almost instantly, actually, because they're already doing that. And within a couple of weeks, once the activation, activates in the field, it'll just be there. And you'll have some kind of experience personally with one of them. It may be in a dream state, it may be in a meditation state, but they will let you know that you've been, asked if you would like to be sworn in. You'll have the choice to make that choice again. You can say, no, I think I'll not do the apprentice thing right now, but if you want it, then they will transmit a certain, it's like a mission contract to you. They will give us the beginning of that, just a little seed, and it holds like what some of the things that because they're aware of certain levels of your higher identity and what that's connected to, of some of the things that would be part of the mission as your contract as apprentice. And we will all get one of these too. We're being invited as apprentices to these guys as well, which is kind of nice. We may be speakers on the MCEO level, and that's backed up by the Mashayahana levels, but this is a whole different level. So we're all being invited, to start at the apprenticeship elect level on that one. Once we go through that little bit, there's a thing we have to say, and I'll repeat this. We can repeat this together a couple times before we get to the point, because it's going to go fast. I just did all the talking about it now, so I don't have to do it then. When it comes to the time, once we get back from the journey, say, okay, now is the time for the decision, and the decision is whether or not you want to accept the commission you were elected for. And if you choose to, the words to say, and we can say this out loud. You don't have to if you don't want to. You can say it in your head, but whichever you prefer. Now, let me see. I have to pronounce this correctly myself, okay? Because we don't have this, on a Mylar because we just received it. Let's see. That's not an A. That doesn't belong there. Do you have a pen? Do you have a pen? Yeah. I have the pens. Okay. There's just one little mark. I have an accent mark in the wrong spot. And when I start repeating it, my eye will actually take over my mouth. Thank you. Right. I have one somewhere in the bottomless pit called my purse. Right. Okay. It's Ayaru, Ave, Idave. All right. And it's in that hybrid, part Anahazi, part Aquarian matrix, and I wouldn't doubt part the Aya matrix level coming in now on the language encodings. There's a lot of A's and A's all over the place. That what it means, I'll say it in a minute, but what it means is, yes, I would gracefully like to accept the apprenticeship elect and take it from there. And also, it means that I'm willing to, in that, assist in helping to create the, this ascension here, like to help whatever way that would be for you to do, in helping the Mashayas come in, or helping, just helping in general, helping the population. It doesn't just mean helping Christians. It means caring about everyone and learning how to, now that we can do it safely, open our hearts in loving kindness and being able to reach out to others, and to, like, we don't have to be afraid of hugging now and stuff like that, where we really shouldn't have been afraid before, but it's like, yeah, put up your Mahark shield really strong before you do, because people were implanting each other. Things were implanting people through their fields. That, we are immune to that now. So we can be a lot more touchy-feely, cuddly, happy kind of thing, right? So in these words, it is saying that, yes, thank you for the, the appointment. I don't know what I did for it, but thanks, guys up there, in my speak. It's actually a very formal way of saying that. And also that, yes, I'm willing to assist in the mission of ascension for, all life everywhere. And the words are Ayaru, Ave, Ida, Ve. You can say it with me if you like, just to get the feel of it. Ayaru, Ave, Ida, Ve. Yeah, I'll do it once more. Okay, yeah. Ayaru, Ave, Ida, Ve. Yeah. And you just need to say it once, and you can say it quietly to yourself if you want to. Sometimes it helps, though, if you say it out loud, because if somebody's forget, like, it's easy to forget and say, was it an A or a V or what was that, right? If we do say it out loud, we will help each other to make sure we're saying the right sounds, and if not, you can, like, really quickly mentally correct, no, that was an A, not a D or whatever, right? Okay, so once we do that, then, as soon as you do that, you'll actually receive a silver violet spark that will come down through the chamber on top. And this is called your, what do I call it? It's your mission spark, all right? Which means it will have an encryption, and it won't activate immediately. It'll just be sitting there. It's like, okay, as an apprentice, as an assistant of ascension on this planet, there's tons and millions of jobs out there because there's a lot of help that's needed, and there will be an idea for what that is that you might want to do with that, and it will open up as it'll interact with your own field and with your own IA body to reveal things to you, and you can interact with it. If you get like, oh, I think I'm supposed to do this, but I don't want to. You don't have to, right? It means you can say, I think that's coming from my mission spark, and I don't really think I want that mission. Can I trade this in for another mission? They will do that. It's up to you. It's your life. It's your free will. So they will just give you ideas of this could be helpful, that could be helpful, but it's not set in stone. You can just say, okay, let's try something else. How about something kind of like, and give them some ideas. And then, they will assist you in seeing the broader spectrum of the mission. Like you say, well, gee, maybe I want to be an artist, right? And you have a little idea of what that might mean. But they actually might say, okay, so you would like your mission to be in art. And they might give you all sorts of interesting ideas you might never have thought of how that art can actually serve ascension. And that can go for anything, from being a mechanic or a doctor or a lawyer, any of that. So it's like that. Nobody's forcing anything on you. Once we get done with that, finally, we're almost done, right? Okay. Once you receive your spark, then we have a brief thing that we need to do, that it is part of our protocol as speakers, that when our apprentices elect have been, the beloveds have said that they have, done well with their life tests, and the three of them have in the same parameter, and they were elected in the same period of time too. And we just invite them up for a minute and introduce them briefly. And a lot of you probably know who they are already anyway, but introduce them. And they basically share standing with us. The beloveds will, be online with them and hanging with them a lot. They won't have nobody else gets the one verbatim from the CDD plates contract, but all of us have our own special contracts. Asan has writing contracts with the beloveds, and Mac has contracts with the beloveds that I think are going to come out in meditation tapes and things like that. So the apprentices will have them too. But it is out of respect of, to publicly acknowledge them. And we first had to ask them if they wanted to do that, because if they didn't, it was not our business to do that. So we just followed the protocol. But because they said, yeah, okay, it's ready, most people know anyway, right? And it's just kind of because it'd be embarrassing. Oh gosh, I'm an apprentice. People are gonna, think I'm ego bound or something. No, it's not an ego appointment at all. Neither is speaker. There's very little ego involved in it. For me, being a speaker was just show up. Yeah, they used to tell me, just show up. We'll be there. But I don't know what I'm teaching. I don't know any of this. Just show up. And shh, listen. And we will be there. And, well, we've been doing this for 10 years and haven't had a nervous breakdown yet. Showing up for workshops that you don't know what you're teaching, but 300 people are waiting for you. Yeah, that's a little stressful. Yeah. So anyway, once that's done, we'll just bring them up, and it's just for a minute, and we're supposed to do like this little hold hands thing, and the beloveds are going to, transmit something that has to do with doing the next level of full activation, and that's the same type of thing that whenever your apprenticeship with the others is where they feel that you're actually ready to handle it, and you decide, yeah, I'm going to do it. They will actually do a similar thing with you privately. You may have an elaborate one. I mean, I remember when I got some of the ordination levels with the beloveds, they were quite amazing. Some of them, they would pull me literally. I'd my physical body be here, but they would pull me out, and I would be so real there, I couldn't even remember my physical body. And just some really beautiful patra stance type things with in amazing places. They used to take me to Inner Earth a lot and those kind of things. So you can have some amazing experiences once you're working with them like that. And this is the beginning of opening that to the next level. So personally, you can have those relationships. Because this is another reason why for that question, is this a cult? Heck, it's not a cult. Cults say, here's a leader, you got to worship that leader, you got to listen to that leader. What we're trying to do is give you your power back and say, here's a bunch of people who are wonderful teachers, and we're all equal, and you have a right to have a relationship with them, and here's where you can try to open the conduits of communication so you can learn personally. So once we're done with that, then finally we do a few couple rounds of the activating song, which is the song of the infinite eternal one. And when we do that, we're going to try to do it with the two parts, which we're just learning to do up on stage there. There's the one that we will put this up on up on as a mylar so people can read it, and we'll also ask the ladies and gentlemen who figured out how to put it together decently. We'll ask them to come up on stage, and the drummers, and we'll get that going. And we'd like to as far as who's singing what, we would like to break it down this way just to keep it balanced, where you could call it the harmonies. They're not really harmonies, they're the other words, are just yeah, yeah. That's really easy, and just keep repeating it, and just kind of like strong. It's like I have a bit of passion to it, and you sync it with the other stuff, with the more words. We just like to do it just to keep it very simple. The people that are over there on my right, which would be on the left side of the room, why don't you start with the ayah. So you'll do the harmonies. This section here, do the chorus. This section here, this big one over here, do the harmonies, and that small section there, do the chorus. That way it should balance, because you have two large sections in the middle, and then you have two smaller ones on the sides, right? So if we're going to try to create a balanced waveform, you have to take one of the, and try to stagger them. So you have the ayahs coming from over here, then you have the main, or actually, the ayahs over here, the main line coming here, the ayahs there, and the main line coming there, so it's more balanced as far as just how much strength is coming in the voices. We don't have to do it for a real long time, but while we're doing it, know that this is when all of the things that we just set into activation go into motion, right? Because otherwise, they're activated, but they're kind of like on idle. It's like, okay, the car's started, but I haven't hit the gas pedal yet. This will be hitting the gas pedal. And then it's probably going to be time, I hate to say it, but what time is it? I don't either. 10, oh God, it's 10 after 6. Well, by then it's probably going to be time to go clean up quick and get on the bus. I'm sorry that it worked out this way, but I'm wondering if it was supposed to. Up there. I'm wondering if there's a reason why that we would get done with this major activation and this power amping that comes from when we do the music and really start the car and get them running, and then we end up on the bus, get asleep a little bit so we can tone the bodies down. So, oh my God, so I'm not walking in a coma. But then we get there. I'm wondering if there was a reason why it was done this way, where it was so close together. Because when we get there, all we need to do is just breathe and walk around. We can sing a little bit too if we want to, if it doesn't seem to bother anybody. No. We're going stealth on this one, which means we just look like a big tourist group, right? That likes to sing on occasion, though, if it's appropriate, if it doesn't bother any other tourists, right? I'm getting a feeling we might get a nudge to do a few rounds of the sun here out there, if people can remember it. The people who took this first and got the music going with it, they might be able to remember it most easily, because I don't know if we'll have the handouts back. I think we'll have them back by then, will we? We've got them already? You do? Oh, goody. That's, yeah. Now, I don't think anybody get upset if, like, when we're getting on the buses to go home, if we maybe did a circle around the buses and broke into song because we loved it there so much. I think we could do that for those who'd like to. If you're too tired by then, it's okay. But if we could get a bit of a little song round going on, like just as we're collecting in the parking lot, wherever it is, and getting ready to go in the bus, so nobody can like yell at us or anything. We're going home, they're going, whatever. You can continue it on the bus too if you want to. I mean, that gets fun. We used to do that in some of the travel trips. So we're going to get on with this. It will go probably pretty quickly now, because anything that I had to explain in between and stuff, we've already done. So now it's just getting to the technique. Are you guys ready, beloveds? Are you guys ready, beloveds? So, alrighty. Beloveds said they're getting ready to beam. They're not beaming yet. They're getting ready to beam. And that basically means that we'll give a okay now when they give me the signal that it's beaming and it's at a strong enough concentration. And as they beam the horizontal gold and silver pillar through, you just put your hands gently like this, like at shoulder level. What?
The pictures aren't the same on those two screens.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at an angle.
It must be the angle, yeah. Yeah, because those two should be showing the same thing that's on here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Angle.
Yep, yep. I bet that could look strange from angle, yeah. Nope, not yet. Alrighty. So, they're getting ready. That's all right. So, in just probably a couple of seconds, they're going to say, okay, go, which means they're transmitting. And what you can do is just put the palms up, and they're saying just gently breathe like in, okay? As soon as we say, now, it's transmitting. All right, give us a minute. 1, 2, and 2, and... Okay, now, just inhale. Hold, and gently exhale. And now it'll move on its own, spreading from the front to the back through your horizontal front-back chamber. And just kind of feel it moving through your body. It's almost like a light, sparkly feeling. And just breathe gently. Okay. Now, they're saying to put the palms down, like, just bend the arms downward a bit, with palms still facing up, though. And this is going to have the rod chamber is actually going to bend down with your arms. And just breathe gently. And in a minute, there's going to be a little pop sensation where the orb, the Aya orb, pops around your chest area. And at the same time, the rod, your arms can stay down, but the rod chambers pop up. So just breathe gently and watch for the little pop sensation. That'll happen when you've built enough frequency of this transmission coming in. Just breathe gently. Okay, they just said to make this easier, syncing everybody's biofields so we don't have to wait like for 5 minutes for some. They're just gonna, they're gonna send a frequency through. They'll just pop the IA orbs, and at that same time, your rod chambers, the side ones, will go up, even though your arms stay down. Okay, and they're transmitting the pop code. Try to sense the feeling of the rod kind of gently going up, right to where its normal position is horizontally. Okay, now we're going to put the other code up. This will be code 2, which is the Cosmea code, and it's for the Cosmea activation. This is the level that corresponds to directly in source consciousness field, God source consciousness field. All right. As long as you want the activation, when they'll let you know when it's coming through. This one you don't have to use your palms. You just sit there and know that when the activation comes, they're going to send through the 3 codes that are showing and triangulate, bounce it off the back of the wall, create an arc that goes up and an arc that goes down. So there'll be an infusion coming from up under your feet, going up, and one coming down from above your head and coming down into your chamber, your vertical chamber. Okay. Oh, they're sending the 3 beams out. I'll let you know when they hit and bounce. Okay, they just kind of splatted and went, split up and down. They almost look like slow motion fireworks coming down. And there will be one current for everyone who has said that they want the activation. And the other ones are coming up from under the feet. Just breathe gently while this is occurring. Okay, now they're saying right here we could actually inhale for a moment into the Azure area, just for a moment. And as we go exhale, we do pop exhale, and it will push out our orb around us to the 12-foot diameter. They said it would do it on its own, but that would just make it would quicken it, would make it happen a little quicker if we, participated directly. They're referring to this as this large 12-foot diameter IA orb as our personal womb of creation, where it is our personal space of the Ayaru, is our personal Ayaru space around ourselves. And I'm getting a feeling that eventually they're going to teach us how to use this space for more direct manifestation abilities and those kind of things, how to create and discreate things in your hologram. Okay, now we're going to the more active part, part 3, where we are awakening our Ave Avatar Eternal body. Okay, so now focus in the body at the Azure point, at the base of the thymus, and inhale a 6-directional inhale and hold for a moment. And then exhale quickly and pop the Aya flame sphere at the Azure. Ooh, neat. Okay. And now inhale again, 6 directions. And this time move the inhale down to the space halfway between your navel and the bottom of your breastbone. And exhale there. And it opens the Aya flame sphere in that area that fills that entire area. Next, move our attention up to our pineal gland in the center of our brain at our head, and inhale the 6 directions. exhale. And it creates the Aya sphere, that space bubble helmet around your head. And now you can breathe normally for a bit. And we're going to visualize or intend, whichever works better for you. You have a small silver self. That's the perfect you, whatever that means. It is a small silver self, perfect you. And it's in your pineal at the moment. And as you breathe gently, notice that on every exhale, it actually is moving itself like it's walking out your third eye until it gets to the end of your space bubble helmet and then turns around and looks at you. It's about 2 to 3 inches high. And it's silver sparkly. This is your Aya seed, self-seed. Now here's where you just feel as if a gentle wind is blowing back behind you all of the nasty, dirty colored energy that's from all of the unpleasant feelings you might have or things stored in your memory, all of those kind of things. You're going to cultivate the most joyful, beautiful, free thought of, I am enlightened, I am joy, life is wonderful, existence is wonderful, those feelings. And once you feel, get in touch with those feelings. Is what these feelings you're going to put into your new life, your new self, your self-seed. And just inhale gently when you feel those, that when you're happy with the quality of your feeling. And then gently exhale and project it into your seed self. And now breathe gently and put your palms back up around by your shoulders, facing your seed self. And imagine your seed self is doing the same thing in its position, standing in front of you, watching you. And it's very tiny compared to you, so it can't reach its arms down that far, but it will send cords of energy down to your palms. So just breathe together for a moment where your seed self is breathing and you are breathing, with your palms in a remote Patra stance, it's called. Just hold that for a moment. You get to know each other a little bit. And now bring your hands together in front of your Azare. And imagine that your seed self is doing the same. This is where you would make the vow to yourself to not give up on you, to believe in the best of you, and in the best of everyone else too. But a vow to not give up on you, that you will stand by yourself, and you will learn how to feel the joy of being that perfect you. You can put your hands down now comfortably in your lap. And as you do, imagine that your seed self is walking back towards you, and it gets smaller and smaller as it gets towards your third eye and walks right back in to your pineal. Now, it's time to turn on the shine. Honey, we need to put up code 3, please. There you go. Okay, what we're going to do first is, you can look at that for a minute if you want to before we go further. You don't have to inhale it or anything, but you can if you want to. We'll get back to that later. But what we can do first is, we're going to get ready for our seed self, our seed Aya self, to expand itself into our atoms and molecules. So let's inhale and hold into the pineal for a moment. And then in a nice, gentle, slow exhale, and feel your seed self expand itself all the way through your whole body, in between the spaces between your atoms and your quarks and your molecules and your cells. Try to feel the sparkly silver sensation, the aliveness, the joy, the cleanness of this energy. We're going to do one more breath, and when we do this breath, we're going to feel the our IA self expand a bit beyond our skin level into our etheric body, about 2 or 3 inches around you. Inhale and try to feel it in your internal organs too, as if it's coming through your liver and expanding out, so everything has this lovely silvery twinkle to it, this healing field. Now we'll look at the Kamea code with you, with your image of your body in there, your perfected self. And you can begin to do the gentle inhale breathing, where you inhale it towards you. Every inhale, it moves a bit off the screen and towards you. It's mathematical encryption. And then exhale gently and it stops. And then inhale more and bring it towards you more. And notice it's getting really, really huge by the time it gets in front of you. And then bring it just one step more. Once it's in front of you, bring it just a little bit further, where it's right running through your body and expands all the way out the 12 diameters of your IA orb. Just breathe gently for a moment and try to sense a vibration feeling or a little fizziness happening in, just like almost like in the air around you, in the spherical around you, inside your orb, as the code is interacting with the Aya frequencies there, or Aya field there. They're going to do a synchronized pop. So let's inhale for a moment. Hold at the top of the inhale. And when we exhale, there's going to be, the beloveds are going to send the pop, and it's going to turn on the shine. And now. As you do this, the Kamea code comes into 3D life in your field. But at the same time, you start to have the lovely silver ultraviolet sparkle rays start to come through your skin. Try to feel them coming through your skin and moving in between your molecules and your atoms. Try to get the feel of controlling the shine with your breath, where when you inhale, you can contract it in where it gets really, really tiny shine. And when you exhale, you pulse it out and it goes do a few gentle breaths of just trying to feel that contract, expand. Contract the shine, expand the shine. Almost as if it's washing your atoms as it's going back and forth, like little scrubby bubbles. It's washing your atoms clean and charging them and energizing them. And now just breathe gentle, and your shine will go back to its about 2 to 3 inches around, around your skin, and including the skin around your internal organs and things. And it's also your orb has little shiny spikes on it now all the way around it. They're not spikes; they're just little beams of the shine. Pale ultraviolet and silver sparkles. Now the shine will stay there with you as long as you want it there, and it will stay in your orb with you. At this point, you have your IA body and your orb, your IA orb, are activated. When you like to charge your fields or charge your body and help yourself feel, better if you're not feeling great, if you're feeling tired. It's a good time to do a bit of just gentle breathing. You don't have to like push it out hard. Just inhale gentle. Exhale with an ah, not a right? And just feel the shine moving. And as it moves, it actually brings you a bit more energy and consciousness. And it relaxes a bit of tension that is in your body. You can breathe the shine anytime, anywhere you want. Even if you're in the middle of a hectic job or whatever, remember to breathe the shine. Because you have to breathe one way or another if your body's walking around. So regardless of the situation, you can train your mind to remember to whenever you breathe, just breathe the shine. You can set it on autopilot, but it's especially important when you're in stressful situations or when you're exhausted or people are harassing you or you're running around like a maniac at work and there's not enough time to get a million things done. That's the time to call to mind the mindfulness of remembering to breathe the shine consciously. And you can calm yourself down by slowing the rate of the pulse of the shine. Because if you get all wound up, it'll be going, and you want to go, right. Nice, slow, deep, easy waves of shine. Because you can go much further when you go deeper than little hyper breaths. All right, we're almost done. Here's what we're going to do. The brief journey for those who'd like to participate, where we bring the Kasmeya code into the sphere of Amente. Now, be aware of your breathing, of your shine, of your orb, your Aya orb, and its shine. If you want to, you can amplify in your palms and hands a bit the shine. You can turn on the shine stronger in one part of your body than another when you want to. So just turn it on if you want to in your palms. And then if you feel inclined to do the joining of hands, which does actually help create a stronger circuit, feel free. If you don't want to, it's okay. But the amping of your shine in your palms, it gives you, it's like putting on extra energy gloves where you're, more protected if you're worried about that, so you can amp that. Okay. Now, we're going to get ready to cruise very quickly. Now, the beloveds are going to help us with too. Actually, they're going to amplify the whole thing, the orb we're going to create. We're going to do a collective inhale and hold for a moment. And on the exhale, we're going to push out a massive orb of Aya orb around the whole shield. Still be aware of your own orb around you. And be aware of the feel of your shine body in you. Because in a moment, we're going to raise the orb shield, the orb that we've made together, the collective. And we're going to do it by raising our own Aya bodies up and out, where they're sitting on our heads, basically. And our orb goes up with them. But it's actually a replicate, where we still have our shine in our body. We're just splitting it, where part of it's going up for a journey and the other part's staying right there with us, and our orb body is staying right there with us. It's just taking a portion of its quantum to go on the journey. So let's inhale and hold at the Azare for a moment. And on the exhale, push a replicate of your Aya body up, and your orb goes up with it. And let's meet an orb at the ceiling. And as we project up there, we've actually lifted the large collective orb that we've created. Now, hold in mind for a moment the idea of Siesta Key Beach and the Big Amaraya Crystal Temple energy field that we created there. If you have never seen Siesta Key Beach, that's all right. Just think of white sand, beautiful aquamarine ocean, and this beautiful crystal, like kind of ghost image of a beautiful crystal temple, and that's shaped like a Christ star vehicle. We're going to inhale, and when we exhale, we're going to actually pop and actually end up right in it. Go inhale. Hold. And exhale, and pop the whole sphere, the whole orb over. Try to feel actually literally the shift where you can feel the sand under, like down below you, and sense a little bit of the movement of the water. I actually got the smell of the salt water, which was neat. All right. Now we're going to go down and deliver the encryption of the Kamea code into the sphere of Amenti. Let's inhale and hold for a moment. And on the exhale, we will push our collective sphere downward into the orb reservoir at Earth core. And there we will see a symbolic, glowing electric blue orb that is the symbol for an access point for the sphere of Amenti race morphogenetic field, angelic human race morphogenetic field. Just breathe gently. And let's feel our collective orb actually hovering over it, over the sphere of Amenti, and then gently settling down on its own over it. And they're asking us to take just 3 gentle inhale, exhale breaths. And when we do, when we inhale, we hold. When we exhale, we push a replica of the encryption of the Kamea code out into the sphere of Amenti. So inhale and hold. Exhale and code. Inhale and hold. Exhale and code. And one more. Inhale and hold. Exhale and code. And now just breathe normally and gently for a moment. And on the next inhale, exhale, we're going to inhale, hold, and exhale, and we're going to pop ourselves right back into the room here. Okay, inhale and hold. And return pop. And we're back. And now it's time for the Ayaru Covenant of the Apprenticeship Select. For those of you who would like to accept the apprenticeship that you were elected for. Oh, this is neat. Okay, yeah. Which one is that? Yeah, we don't need that one yet, but we don't have the other one. You can keep that on there. Yeah. Okay. Now, it is interesting. The beloveds are doing something, actually. Oh, that's cool. We're getting a gathering, actually, happening up around the ceiling. They're like all coming in like small bodies. They're maybe like this tall. And some of these guys, when they materialize, they have so much energy quantum that they're massive. They're like buildings, but they're actually projecting a portion of their consciousness in. And it's interesting. I'm watching. We've got Hathor coming in over there. There's a whole bunch of the Hathors. We haven't seen this for a while. Hi guys. Oh, this is a party. Okay. Oh, neat. This hasn't happened in a long time. Let me see who's where. Okay, we got Adonai on the left. I love those guys. Yeah. All right, all the Buddha groups are coming in right about here, which are the ones that, when we do the floating Buddhist techniques, all of those groups, and all of your personal ones are coming in. The Vishaya Hunter going, it's getting very crowded down there. Are you guys coming? Of course you're invited. Right. They're laughing. They're going, we know. Right. Okay. Oh, neat. That's why they're coming in. Oh, very cool. I'm seeing this swirling energy, and it's not here yet. I couldn't say it's up above the building. It's like it's in the room, but it's not in the room yet. This is a new effect, actually. That I'm not sure what I have a feeling of what it means, but I can't describe it. the what are they? These words, Ayaru, the Ayaru, are coming in, but they're not taking form. They're coming in as swirling conscious air, and it's building. It's neat. It's like it's here but not here yet, as if you're transposing two pictures of the same thing together, and there's something in one and not in the other, and they're slowly coming in together where you'll see what's in the one in the other a bit, just at least feel it. All right, neat. Oh, neat. They're actually spreading out like we did in the technique Sunday morning. Oh, cool. Yeah, you can, it is okay, by the way, to snap pictures if you want to. I don't know if you'll get anything, but we've definitely got company. They're spreading out literally, like within the air molecules in here. They said, you can breathe us if you want to. But you don't have to. We're hanging out in the air, but you breathe air, and we're at a different frequency, so don't worry about it. Okay, cool. So they're getting ready for, they will give the moment of, and they're not going to ask it out loud, but it's about the apprenticeships. And when they say, all right, the question is asked, when they tell me to say that, that is when you would respond with the I'll say it once more again, for all of us, Ayaru, Ayaru, Ave, Ida, Ve. Yep. Okay, so that was a practice. They're going to let me know. Oh, neat. They're doing it in energy. There's this ripple they just sent out, and they just said, the moment of asking is given, which means they have asked you formally. And now, for those of you who would like to, you can say the response, which is Ayaru, Ave, Ida, Ve. And just hold your breath up for a moment. Inhale and hold. And those of you who asked will have a little violet silver spark come down your central vertical column. You can exhale gently. And a little spark will go into the Aya flame that is in the Azure, into that sphere, and it will hang there for a bit. That will hold the beginnings of your potential commissions. It's almost like a job offer. Like, how about this one? And it will open just in everyone, and will do it in their own time. And you'll just start getting some ideas about your greater mission. As in becoming an apprentice-elect, we are all being invited to be a part of this massive service team, not just to humanity, but to literally all life everywhere. And we're learning about how huge the cosmos and the cosmea really are. And we've made our connection, a direct, full-on connection with the God Source consciousness field beyond the cosmea. There's little bits of it everywhere, and the God Source consciousness field is what our consciousness is and what the molecules of everything are made out of. But to touch it in its purest state is something everyone that has sought enlightenment is actually looking for. We're getting to the point where now we can open into that enlightenment. We have worked very hard to open the conduits to bring this ability back on this planet. And welcome, apprentices, all, us included. We're all apprentices together, apprentices elect. They will work with each of us personally and let us know when they feel that it wouldn't, basically the life tests are about where it wouldn't burden you to add taking care of everybody else or other people to your own thing. They want you to take care of you first, and they'll assist you with that. And when they feel you have yourself, and it doesn't mean you have to have everything in your life perfect or anything like that. It just means that you have a stability and patience in your life with yourself, regardless of what your outer circumstance is, that you wouldn't feel overburdened or stressed with the, assisting others. And, that's when the little job offer, or whatever it is, and it'll be different for everybody. And some will find that you're on teams, like, oh, okay, there's a team of, like, ones who do this and team of ones who do that. So you may have similar, job offers. But they will open once the beloveds feel that it is safe for you and it's comfortable for you to do that you can handle it with grace without it, making your fields wobble and making you feel tired or anything like that. So welcome. This is really neat. Yeah. What we need to do next is our final step before we go and hit the gas on the car that's idling. And that is, we'd like to invite Mac up, speaker 3. Is she here? Hi, Mackers. And we would like to invite the 3 apprentices of the MCEO up, please. Hello. Where is she? Where is she?
Oh, she had to leave.
She had to leave? Why?
Baby?
Oh, okay. Oh dear. Okay, well, the other one is on. She's going to be very bummed. You know what? No.
Can somebody give her a spell?
Is Jackie here? Jackie, could you do me a favor? Could you go up and just switch for just 15 minutes or 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
We won't do the other part without you? Okay. Because I know the baby knows you and she trusts you. And just tell her just to get down here for this, and then she has to go right back up and bring you back down for the rest. Okay? So anyway, we'll introduce the other 2 apprentices. We have blue apprentice is Willa Mulhare. She prefers her spiritual name Ashaleh. And we have Jared Mulhare, who you prefer Jada, right? You prefer Jada. And hopefully we will get Zahn down here very soon. Yes, so we'll just wait for a moment, but what we can do while we're waiting for the moment is we can bring the singers and the drummers up and start pushing the gas on the idling car. And then we'll do the final transmission right at the end when she does come down. Okay?
Oh, there she is.
Oh, is she there already? Yay! Jackie, the baby? Did she bring her down or is she sleeping? She's down here with her. Oh, good. You can bring her in for this if drumming doesn't scare her. Anyway, the third, the violet apprentice is Sandra Cab. What spiritual name do you prefer to be called?
Ashandra Lehana.
Ashandra Lehana is her spiritual name she prefers to be called.
I don't use it a lot, but
She said she doesn't use it a lot, but that's what
Well, you've
she
asked
knows
it
it's
now,
her.
haven't you?
Yeah.
so.
Right, you got
Ashandra.
it.
I can remember that much.
Yeah.
It's a
You were the
mouthful.
one who told me it when I was
I
11.
know I did. Yep. It was longer though. There was like
There was a
more
whole
parts.
bunch to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Zana's good too if you're happy with that. It's up to you. But anyway, this is the protocol of publicly introducing. These people have been working with us since 2006 when they were originally received their apprenticeship appointment. And the beloveds told me like 2 days ago that it was our protocol. And it comes to speaker 1 first, like the Blue Flame will have it first, as far as whose job is it to inform them, to ask them if they still want to hold the commission before the next activation, and to ask them if they want public or not. And what we can do is, Jackie's still out there with her, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we'll do this part now since you came quickly, right? We were going to actually try to
That was
move it around a
completely
little.
not planned. I was walking down with Joy, and Jackie came out of the room as I was saying goodbye to Joy, and I had the baby in the stroller.
Awesome.
This is a
Good
sign.
timing.
This
Yeah,
is a
yeah.
very good sign.
All right, so it is just a simple transmission that we need to link hands and, yeah.
Will you both please come this way? Jared, will you stand in between Mac and
Yeah.
Asha?
Yeah, and I need somebody else to help
then join
hold
them
this,
now.
actually.
Okay. Mac, come round. And grab Chandra.
We need somebody in the middle to hold the microphone, actually. Is that allowed, beloveds? Okay,
Setting into his
that could work. That could work. You look uncomfortable.
I feel a bit of a cracked.
It's a nice
All right.
posture.
No.
All right. Okay, let's inhale and hold upward for a moment. On the exhale breath, the beloveds will transmit a cone-shaped field of frequency over the 3 apprentices. Each one has one, and they'll put a larger one over all of us. Exhale, please. Just breathe gently. They're actually transmitting an interesting current through our palms. And they're asking me to repeat something that I'm probably not going to remember 3 seconds after I say it because it's in another language. It's the official, whatever their swearing in frequencies, vibrations are. So, Ataheho doelata, jonat te amat te asuta, nalamashita, nalameta, inama, yanam mahote. All right, we've got a Mashayahana standing in the middle right now. Standing in the middle right now, and each of you, it's actually he's standing as a pillar. He's manifesting as a kind of cone-shaped pillar, and it's going to extend the equivalent of arms with thumbs, but 3 arms. Right? It's just like energy currents that are going to touch each of you on the 3rd eye. Just try to close your eyes and sense when that occurs. Just breathe gently, so that you may see clearly. And it's going to do the same and touch you on actually where the thyroid is, which is above the thymus, like just gently there. So you may speak clearly and with wisdom and grace. Now it's going to touch you on the heart chakra, so that you may feel clearly and deeply with loving joy and divine compassion. And the last one's going to touch you on the 2nd chakra, but below the belly button. So your body may heal and hold the frequencies that you have agreed to bring and assist in bringing for the service of all life everywhere in the name of the Christ. And thank you and welcome to the Mashayahana Councils.
Ta'eja into the ray.
Ta'eja in the door. Ta'eja in the door. Ta'eja in the door. Shanta kashada. And so it is. Welcome, dear apprentices.
Are they in training for a long time? How does it work?
They haven't explained that to us either. I didn't even know apprentices exist until they told me in 2006 they had to appoint them. They said they were voted in. I said, okay, what do apprentices do? And they said, we'll let you know as we go along. Right? They know, and it's kind of like it's a commission between the person and the beloveds. And they informed me who the apprentices were. And each speaker had one vote, but not consciously. It was in the dream state that we got to cast our vote. But I woke up and I knew I'd voted no for Zahn because I didn't want her to have to go through the tests or anything. I didn't want her life to be harder because of it. You know, I thought she was a bit too young, you know. But I got outvoted anyway. And they said, oh, well, yeah, you had your vote. Sorry. She voted in anyway. Okay. Well, I'm glad, though. I'm very proud of her. But anyway. So the apprenticeships are something quite fascinating to me. I feel like I know all about them somewhere. Like some part of me does, but I'm not allowed to open that record now because I also have that Babylon contract where if I know it, I share it. Right? So I think it's supposed to be something that we all learn to understand in our own way of, okay, I decided to be an apprentice. That means I'm going to help run the frequencies of the beings I'm working with, and right now we're working with the ones that are directly associated with God's source. I have no idea. I'm just really glad they thought I was doing good enough at something that they even elected me and you guys and all of us guys. So this is cool. What it means, we'll all find out in our own way. Maybe someday we'll write a book called The Apprentices. Or maybe we'll each write books.
Come into your workshop.
Yes, yes. Yep. Yep. Alrighty, so last phase. Yep. I don't know. It's not to give to the green dragons. Either one, whichever. You pick. Yeah. Yeah, I just noticed this interesting little note up on the desk. It says, why are we building our collective energy to give to the green dragons? Their habit is power and greed to absorb our energy. I don't know who wrote this, but I will address it. For one, we're not just giving it to them because if we're supposed to be above how they are, like as far as like more mature and more spiritually attuned, first of all, you realize that they do need help. We're not giving it to them to suck it off. We're not letting them suck our energy off. But the most important thing is, do you really think we would be keeping these gates open ourselves if they did not hand over part of the Metatronic grids?
No.
We'd be doing 3-day evac before we hit 2017. So whoever wrote this note, they are giving something back this time. They are helping themselves, but they are helping us help ourselves as well. We are helping them, they are helping us. So whoever wrote the note, I don't know, but I'm trying to let you understand that we're just not, playing the martyrs again. Oh, here, let them go abuse it again. No. And they're progressively handing over the grids. Because if they don't, they're going to lose them. And we're going to have to pull out way before 200 years from now. Because we've joined this, in this collective with them, that they will be helped. And we don't have to deal with them directly. They had to go over our direct council's heads because they broke agreements with our councils. And there's at least, I forget what the time frame is, but it's at least a few hundred years or something before you can petition again. Once you broke a petition and tried to hurt the Christians, they just say, no, not for a while, But they had to go over our heads, and it was actually agreed that, okay, if we would agree, and if we were backed up by the Buddhara First Falls, that if they tried to do anything to mess with the Christians again and to betray the agreement, that the Buddhara First Falls would step in and or the Buddhara Christ Falls would step in, and they would take it from there and handle they would take the commission from us and handle it themselves. So whoever wrote that, it's an interesting question. Oh, it was somebody just left a note that, why are we building our collective energy to give to the green dragons? Their habit is power and greed to absorb our energy? With a question mark, which is kind of like, huh? But I get the sentiment that was in it. Why are we helping them? Why are we doing all this to help them? We are not doing all this just to help them. We're doing this to help all life everywhere, but they are actually helping us and we are helping them so we can together move through this period into, and keep the ascension gates open. Because we didn't have enough collective quantum on the planet to actually be able to withstand. We could have held it off for a while, the Metatronic activation, but we would not have been able to keep the gates open for 200 years. So that is an answer to that question, just because I wanted that to be very clear. If anybody else is thinking that, it's not just another here, hand over, go abuse it kind of thing. So it is a mutual exchange of energy this time. All right, here we go. Oh,
Is that you?
no, yeah, they're letting me use it. Because I left mine upstairs. I forgot.
Well, just leave this on
Okay.
somewhere. You don't need to hold it.
Yeah, why don't... Ooh.
Put it down there. Yeah, we just put this here. Pick up the sand. Right.
Are we going to sing that line or?
Over there.
Yeah, I guess so.
And you've got the main melody here. You got here, and main melody over there. Okay? I'm not even going to attempt to sing this. I'll sing one show with you guys with my voices here. Handling it well.
I think you should be in front.
Yeah, get out.
Get the rhythm.
Okay, you ready?
That's better if we'd ever.
Are you ready? Okay, yeah.
Beat.
Yeah.
About that fast. Okay.
Aye, aye, aye,
Awesome. Well done, everybody. That was awesome. Whoa. Vroom, cars are running now. Oh, I hope you guys enjoy that as much as we do. Yeah, you like that? Oh. It's like, oh. Well, I do believe we've reached the end of the workshop. What day is it? Is it Tuesday yet? No. Anyway, I'm not sure what time it is, but there's probably time to get on the bus. We have to be there at 8:45. They're loaded. Yeah, there's probably time for breakfast before we have the buses. When we go to for the people who are going to the site, when we go there, let's see if we can get together at the end. I don't know how they're going to move us through the spaces there. I don't know if we can. I think in small groups because they can't fit the whole group all in one string at once. So as you're going there, just breathe and touch things with love. Touch them gently. You can even sing the song in your head if you want while you're doing it. And just the presence of you being there with what you just brought into your fields. You will bring the coding of the Kamea into that space, into one of the first Metatronic broadcasting stations. I mean, literal broadcast. Some of them, the stations have different purposes. The broadcasting ones are the ones that go out and feed information into the nets. This is where you get the false history feeds, you get the channels that are picking up on this stuff. Well, you know, this may just resurrect the whole channeling movement. I have no idea. But when we go there, just the process of us being there in SHIELD, even if we're not all right next to each other, is going to bring those frequencies that we brought into the Sphere of Amente right into the grids there, into one of their broadcasting stations that are literally flying data bands through the air that channels and people are picking up on and getting, the Metatronic. Well, now the Metatronic wave will also carry a Christic wave, so people have an option. And it's actually a great day. I never realized we needed to get here, but now that I'm realizing where here is, this is awesome with all we've had to deal with in the last 10 years of this crazy invisible grid war. This point is a major victory for the CRIS, but also for those that have been moved into Metatronic stuff without being offered the opportunity of knowing the difference, where they're tricked or deceived into it. This is a great day for unity to begin, and I'm very glad that you've been here with us. For people who are going home, please have a very, very safe trip home. I hope you've enjoyed the workshop. I know the hours are wacky, but it does happen sometimes. People who are going, I won't keep you any longer, so you can get some breakfast before we go to sleep on the buses. See you soon. Love you guys.
I was missing some shake, shake,